Okay, so a common question that always comes up is, how do I plug this into my calculator? So I'm going to show you how to plug this into your calculator. Let's look at this first example. We've got y equals 200 times e to the power of negative 0.3 times 7. Right, all of that is the exponent right there, negative 0.3 times 7. All right, so how do I plug that in the calculator? So using your calculator, you need to look for a button that has this e at some point. All right, so we can just to get the output, the y value, so we're going to have 200, and we're going to multiply times e. So e is that special number that we calculated before using a limit. And that e button, it's right near this ln. This ln key is for the natural log. And if you see the yellow key, and if you have a different calculator, it might be a blue key, that e to the x. So to activate that, I'm going to hit the second button, and then I'm going to hit ln. And that's what's going to pop up. It's got e to the power of something, right? So what is it going to be the power of? Well, this whole thing is the exponent, right? So I need to put that whole thing inside this parentheses before I close it. So negative 0.3, and then I still need to multiply that times 7. So I'm going to put a parentheses, 7, and then close that parentheses, and then close the final parentheses. So that enclosed all of this as the exponent. When I hit enter, I get that. I get 24.491. So if I were to round this, I'd have y equals 24 point, we can just keep it as 49. That 1 would not round that up. Okay, so that's what this answer would be. That's how you plug it in the calculator. Pretty simple. Just be careful with the parentheses. Another mistake I see in general with use of parentheses is when we have a fraction. So right here, if I were to plug all this in there to get the output, the y value, what would that look like? Well, I've got 10, and I need to divide 10 by this whole thing. So how would this look? So I have to have 10, and sometimes I just put the whole numerator in parentheses. In this case, it really wouldn't make much of a difference because it's just one number. But I've got 10. So 10 divided by, I need to divide by the entire thing. So if I just hit this, 3 plus, and then I do 5 times e, that's not going to work. That's going to divide 10 divided by 3, but I want to divide this whole thing. So I need to enclose the entire denominator. Just like before I enclosed the entire exponent in parentheses, I'm going to enclose the entire denominator in parentheses. Okay, so let me go back and do that. Let me start some parentheses. This is the entire denominator, 3 plus 5 times e to the power of negative 0.2. I have no idea what this is. I just made this problem up. So I've enclosed, that closing parentheses was for the exponent. This closing parentheses is for the denominator. And if I hit enter, this is what I get. So if I were to round that, I guess I would get 1.4. I would round that up to 1. All right, so that's how you plug it in the calculator. Just be careful with the parentheses when you're doing it. Otherwise, you'll start making mistakes. Good luck.